This is Youth Librarian Shari from the Southfield Public Library in Southfield, Michigan. And I'm telling you the state this time because I don't know where you're watching this from, but we're going to be talking about something that makes our state special. But before we do that, I just want to let everybody know that when I'm recording this, it will be the last one for the season. We're going to take the summer off because we have lots of exciting things going on at the Southfield Public Library this summer that I hope those of you who live nearby can come and check out. But if you can't, I'm just happy we can be together virtually. And I am thrilled to have done these episodes. And I am looking forward to coming back in the fall, probably let me fix my ponytail, in September. So the reason I was fixing my ponytail is because I'm getting ready to do an experiment. I don't want my hair all over the place when I'm trying to do it. Now I'm ready. Yes, we're going to do an experiment. And remember, I was telling you how Michigan is special. We're very special because of some bodies of water that we have. Here in Michigan, we have rivers, we have ponds, we have streams, all types of different bodies of water. We do not have an ocean. Where you live, there may be an ocean. But where we live, there are a whole lot of lakes. We are called the Great Lakes State. And we're going to do an experiment that uses fresh water, like in a lake, and salt water, like in an ocean. And we're going to talk about buoyancy. And buoyancy is how high and how well something can float. And when you have salt in your water, that makes it denser, more compact, thicker, and things tend to float higher up in the water. But in fresh water, like a lake, like this book is about, and you can get all kinds of books on rivers and oceans and ocean creatures and lake creatures, and all kinds of fun stuff at your local library. So I hope after you see me do this experiment, you're A, going to want to do it yourself, and B, you're going to want to learn more. So to do this experiment, you'll need a container. I have a little plastic container like we keep our puppets and craft supplies in. You can use any type of little container or even a little bowl, like a mixing bowl. About halfway full of water. And I'll do it up here so you can see. Then you're going to need some tin foil. Like this here, any kind of tin foil. And then objects to wrap your tin foil in to give them different shapes. You can do as many different shapes as you want. I used a pen for this one, and I used a little hand sanitizer container for this one. So kind of a cylindrical shape, which is what a pen is, and my container is sort of oval shaped. My piece of tinfoil here is not quite oval shaped, but close. So let's try floating them and see how they float. I'm going to bring it closer so you can see, and you can see through the box exactly how it floats. So first we're going to try the cylindrical one. And, oh yeah, it's floating nicely. Floating nicely. Not submerged at all. Submerged means when it's a little bit under the water. Now it's a little submerged because I pushed it. Okay. So try the water out of there because we're going to use it again, and I don't want it to be too heavy because when it absorbs water, and tinfoil doesn't absorb water, but this has a couple little holes that water could have gone into. What happens? Like when a sponge gets wet, it gets heavier and it sinks. Buoyant means it's lighter and it floats to the top. Now here's my cylinder. Let's see. I'm just going to drop it. And how does it? Well, it looks like it's floating pretty good. It doesn't look too submerged. So that's kind of neat. So they both floated pretty nicely on top. But when we add the salt water, that should make them float even a little higher on the surface. So let's add some salt. I added some salt in. You can use just plain table salt. And now I'm going to try it again. And let's see if there's any difference. Oh, you know what? I think there is. I think it's a little less of the tinfoil is under the water. I think it is floating a bit higher. It's not super noticeable, but I think you can tell. If you do this at home, you can really tell. Let's try with this one. Same thing, a little bit, I think. It's small, but I can see the difference. Try this at home and try wrapping different objects. Like, I didn't do my narwhal because I didn't have enough time, but if you have a little stuffed animal that you want to wrap in tinfoil, or maybe a book that you want to wrap in tinfoil. If you have a larger container than the one I use, try different shapes and see how that affects it. And do it without salt, and then do it with salt. And let me know. I would love to hear if you reply on our Southfield Library web. We're all over the place. You could send a message. Our email is on there. You could send an email and say, can you tell Miss Shari? And I would love to hear. So I hope you'll have fun experimenting. All you need is salt, water, a container, and objects. I hope you'll try the experiment. It was so fun story shenanigans with you, and I will see you again in the fall. Bye.